Let's get started by understanding how to create a data table from scratch and also how to import data from CSV files to R in the form of a data table. We will also see how to convert a data frame to a data table and vice versa. Finally, how to export to a CSV file or other format using fwrite function. Fwrite for fast write. Let's go to the R code. So let me first demonstrate how fast the importing with the fread function that data table provides is. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create a CSV file that is having 1 million rows and 4 different columns. So this is how it looks like. I have exported this particular CSV file just containing 4 different columns and 1 million rows. Now if I'm going to import it using the read.csv function, let's see how long it takes. So that took approximately 3.25 seconds. Now I'm going to import the same file using fread function that data table provides. If you are using data table for the first time, you need to run this particular command, install.packages, to install it. Let me load the data table package and call fread directly on the CSV file. This is almost instant. And if you check the class of this particular file, empty, it is a data table, but it also shows the data frame attribute over here, which means the data table is an extension of the functionalities of data frame itself. So this means every function that uses a data frame as an input argument will work perfectly fine with data table as well. Let's inspect the first few rows of empty that we just imported. Notice the left hand side notation where you have 1 colon, 2 colon and all. This is a standard data table way of representing the row numbers. A key difference between a data table and a data frame is data table does not contain row names. It is always 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and so on. Whereas you can assign row names in a data frame. So that is a significant difference. So whenever you are converting a data frame that contains row names to a data table, you should always take a copy of the row names as another column in the data frame itself and then do the conversion. So that is a key difference. Now, if you just look at the timings here, it is about 20 times faster. And as the size of the data grows, as you have more rows and more columns in your data, this timing difference varies even more. So higher or larger the data set, the more is the difference in the time taken by data table to import it. Now let's see how to convert a data frame to a data table. Now we have the empty cast data set. Like I said, on converting to a data table, the row names will be lost. So I am taking a copy of the row names as another column in data in empty cast data set itself and copying empty cars to df. Alright, now to convert it to a data table, there are few ways to do it. An obvious way is to use the data.table function. It will get converted to a data table. Looking at the class, you can also view it like this. Now, if you want to create a data table from scratch, instead of converting an existing data frame to a data table, if you want to create it from scratch, it follows the same syntax as well. Just pass the column name followed by the values. It will create the data table. All right. So another way of converting a data frame to a data table is using the setDT function. Now the difference here is, now we have this data frame over here. If you want to convert it to data table in place without any copying, you want to just transform the df to a data table itself in place without placing it into a new object. use the set dt function. Now this function has run, but now if you check the class of df, this is a data table now. If I print df now, the row names are gone, but we have a new column called row name, so it is fine. Now if you want to convert the data table to a data frame, you can use the set df function. Df right now is a data table like we just saw. On running set df, it will turn it back to a data frame. But you will not get the row names back because when you converted it to a data table, the row names were gone. So on converting it back, you won't get the row names back. It's as simple as that. Now to export the data to a external CSV file, you can either use write.csv, or if you have a very large file, use fwrite, which is the short for fast write. Alright, now let's solve a mini challenge. The challenge for this video is import the empty cast dataset stored in this link as a data table and then convert it back to a data frame. It will give you some good practice. Pause the video and try it out in your R console. After a few seconds, I will show you the answer. So here's the answer. Change it. So dt looks like this. Changing into df can be done using set df, or you can use as dot data frame on dt as well. By running set df, the dt would have converted to a data frame already. So the dt is already a data frame when I ran this. But irrespective of that, this function will perfectly work. And well done if you solved it. Let's get more deeper into the syntax in the next one.